Born into a turbulent family, Joan Crawford's early years were defined by adversity. Her father's abandonment left her mother solely responsible for raising her and her brother, but her mother's irresponsibility often forced Joan to take care of herself. These challenges became the foundation of her fierce independence. From an early age, she embarked on an uphill battle for survival. By the age of 9, she was already supporting her family financially, taking on jobs like waiting tables to cover basic needs and fund her schooling. However, despite her tireless efforts, she wasn't able to continue beyond the 6th grade. This lack of formal education was a source of constant insecurity throughout her life, driving an unyielding determination to succeed against all odds. Her self-reliance, born out of necessity, shaped the relentless spirit for which she became known. Fueled by an insatiable ambition, Joan Crawford emerged from a tumultuous upbringing with a fierce resolve to reshape her life through the dazzling world of show business. Born Lucille Fay Lesueur, her early years were marked by economic hardship and personal challenges. Yet these obstacles only intensified her determination to rise above her circumstances. With an innate understanding of the allure and power of performance, she recognized that entertainment held the key to her transformation. In the lively nightclubs of Chicago, Crawford began to carve a niche for herself as a captivating dancer, drawing audiences with her energy and captivating presence. It was a bold step from her trials as a young girl to the intoxicating spotlight of the cabaret scene. While her singing and dancing abilities were not exceptional by traditional standards, Crawford made up for it with her sheer perseverance. Night after night, she honed her movements, refining her routines to make them more compelling and precise. Eventually, this spirited determination carried her to New York City, where the thriving musical theater scene provided a broader platform for her burgeoning talent. She found herself in chorus lines, her vivacity setting her apart in these ensemble performances. Her inherent charisma caught the attention of not only audiences, but also influential figures within the entertainment industry, who began to recognize her potential. Crawford knew that this was merely the beginning, and she embraced each new opportunity with the singular purpose of advancing her goals. Her venture into musical performances became a masterclass in resilience, as she not only perfected the external trappings of a star, but invested deeply in understanding the nuances of entertainment. This unrelenting dedication would come to define her path, demonstrating that hard work and an unwavering commitment to self-improvement could triumph over any lack of natural ability. These formative years laid the bedrock for her future stardom, where she would go on to not only conquer the screen but also the public imagination. The drive that propelled Joan Crawford out of obscurity into the heights of Hollywood's golden age remained central to her identity throughout her legendary career. After being discovered by a producer, Joan Crawford embarked on a transformative journey that led her to MGM, then the most prestigious studio in Hollywood. Her arrival in Los Angeles in 1925 marked the beginning of a new chapter, though it was fraught with challenges. She stepped off the train carrying little more than her determination, with no contacts to guide her, and no established plan in an industry that often seemed unkind to newcomers. With no privileged pathway, she was compelled to rely on her persistence and work ethic as she navigated the unfamiliar terrain of Hollywood. MGM quickly recognized her innate potential and signed her, awarding her an initial salary that might not have seemed impressive at the time, but spoke to their interest in nurturing her talent. MGM's rigorous star-building system came into play, and they invested heavily in preparing Joan for her future stardom. This included a demanding regimen of comprehensive training programs designed to perfect every facet of her persona. She received coaching in acting, which helped her unlock her emotional range on screen and adapt to the transition between silent films and talkies. Her dance training, grounded in her earlier experiences, was refined to match the elegance expected of Hollywood's leading ladies. Beyond this, she honed physical skills in horseback riding and even fencing, an inclusion that underscored MGM's thorough preparation of its stars for a broad range of roles. These technical and artistic preparations transformed Joan Crawford from an ambitious unknown into a polished professional, ready to shine in the competitive world of film. Joan's breakthrough at MGM was not merely a result of the studio's efforts, but a testament to her innate resilience and willingness to adapt. She took on the MGM-dictated changes, including a new stage name that distanced her from her birth name, Lucille Lesueur, which studio executives deemed unsuitable for a star. This change, while reflective of Hollywood's superficialities, also signified the start of Joan's public metamorphosis into a celebrated actress. Upon arriving at MGM, Joan Crawford faced the daunting challenge of transitioning from a small-town girl with big dreams to a starlet capable of capturing Hollywood's imagination. She began in modest, often uncredited roles, but her determination and ambition set her apart from the other hopefuls. Recognizing the limited nature of her appearances and frustrated by the lack of substantial parts, Joan took proactive steps to secure her place in the competitive world of cinema. She launched a personal publicity campaign and immersed herself in the work, not simply as an actress, but as a student of stardom. She studied audience preferences, mastered the art of self-promotion, and capitalized on her charisma. Her transformation was not only mental but also physical. MGM highlighted her potential, collaborating on her makeover to align her appearance with contemporary demands for elegance and glamour. Behind closed doors, and in endless hours of training, she honed her makeup techniques, making subtle adjustments that enhanced her natural features, and presented her as the perfect vision of a screen star. Clothing became another crucial element of her reinvention. She was meticulous about her wardrobe, and frequently made bold choices designed to attract notice. At the heart of her journey was her tireless work ethic. It was not enough for Joan to be beautiful. She aimed to become irreplaceable. Within the confines of rehearsal studios and raging sets, she continuously tweaked and polished her craft. This dedication did not go unnoticed. By embracing opportunities to improve her theatrical and emotional range, she began to build an on-screen persona defined by depth and versatility. She became a master of reinvention, excelling in scenarios that required both subtlety and intensity. Her big break came with the announcement of a contest, initiated by MGM and Movie Weekly magazine, to find a new stage name that would embody her transformation. As the newly christened Joan Crawford, she fully embraced her burgeoning career and re-engaged Hollywood on her own terms. Being declared a baby star symbolized her acceptance as one of the bright talents to watch, a label often bestowed on actresses deemed worthy of significant investment by studios. This commitment to excellence and her ability to adapt became her hallmark. As she climbed her way to more visible roles, Crawford actively learned from directors, fellow actors, and the broader culture of cinema itself. Recognizing the importance of personal branding, she cultivated a glamorous and magnetic image that complemented her on-screen roles. While humility and tireless discipline remained at her core, she adopted a confident public persona that resonated with fans and industry professionals alike. As Joan developed her remarkably confident screen presence, her authenticity and compassion shone through, making her a beloved figure both on and off the set. Known to be relentless in pursuit of challenges, she would tackle every part with an eagerness unmatched. Whether behind the scenes or under glaring lights, she reviewed and dissected scripts to ensure her performance would be as nuanced as it was impactful. Stepping into more demanding projects, her capabilities grew with every passing moment. Throughout the roaring extravagance of the 1920s, Joan Crawford found herself emerging as the face of youthful rebellion and prosperity within a dynamic society exploring newfound freedoms. Her portrayal in Our Dancing Daughters, released in 1928, encapsulated the very spirit of the Jazz Age, a period characterized by its vibrant culture, economic exuberance, and the challenge to traditional norms. In this silent film, Crawford's character, Diana Medford, a spirited, benevolent flapper, stood as an embodiment of the modern woman, as showcased in her uninhibited dancing, daring attire, and vivacious spirit. While quintessentially embodying the wildness and moral questioning of the Jazz Age, Diana was a character balanced by her underlying virtue and genuine yearnings, thereby striking a chord with audiences navigating an era marked by a clash of tradition and progress. Joan Crawford's performance was nothing short of iconic. With her magnetic screen presence, she effortlessly drew viewers into the glamorous yet turbulent world of young socialites. Her depiction of revelry, often joined by Charleston-inspired dancing and scenes of carefree joy, mirrored the very essence of a generation indulging in its newfound liberties. In off-screen moments from the production, contemporaries acknowledged her natural exuberance and charisma, which leapt into her on-screen personas. She danced on tables, donned glittering wardrobes designed to accentuate her vivacity, and performed with a boldness emblematic of a burgeoning individuality and confidence among women of the day. Diana's story also highlighted the underlying struggles of youth caught between hedonism and heartfelt desires. Unlike the morally ambiguous or superficial archetypes of many flapper characters of this period, Joan Crawford's portrayal brought depth to Diana. She was not merely defined by her lavish parties, dazzling outfits, or high-energy dances. She was a figure yearning for genuine connections and meaningful relationships. This delicate mix of gaiety and sincerity urged filmgoers to reevaluate their perceptions of the emerging modern woman. Diana, and by extension, Crawford, resonated with audiences who saw their own experiences reflected, whether that was through resisting expectations or navigating the uncertainties of an evolving world. Set amidst extravagant mansions and teeming with dazzling visual elements characteristic of Art Deco styles, Our Dancing Daughters came to represent the apex of silent cinema, while championing Crawford as a leading star synonymous with youthful rebellion. The dazzling sets, coupled with the energetic jazz-infused soundtrack, created an atmosphere where Joan Crawford could shine in the limelight. Collaborating closely with designers, her iconic Charleston dress, with intricate beadwork and fringe, became not just a costume, but a visual signal of her dynamism and the electrifying energy of this age. It was this commitment to glamour and detail that rendered Our Dancing Daughters distinctive, thrusting Crawford to instant stardom and immortalizing her as the ultimate jazz baby. The role marked the turning point in Crawford's career, transitioning her from smaller roles to the spotlight of worldwide recognition. The success of Our Dancing Daughters sealed Crawford's reputation as a leading lady who could encapsulate the energy, struggles, and vibrancy of her time. Critics marveled at her talent, spotlighting her uncanny ability to not only act, but also become an emblem of a time and cultural shift that many films only aim to reproduce. Her collaboration with film studios in constructing her image further solidified her as not just a star, but a creator of a cultural legacy. By the close of the 1920s, Joan Crawford's name echoed beyond theaters, becoming shorthand for the aspiration, determination, and allure of the jazz-imbued era that she came to epitomize. By aligning herself with established icons of the silent era, Joan Crawford strategically shaped her career in Hollywood's burgeoning film industry. Early on, she shared the screen with Lon Chaney, known as the Man of a Thousand Faces, in the silent drama, The Unknown. This collaboration allowed her to absorb not only the nuances of performance from a seasoned actor, but also the discipline and craft that elevated her from mere appearances to a riveting on-screen presence. Her role as a carnival assistant in this macabre tale marked a turning point, as Crawford later credited Chaney for teaching her invaluable lessons about the depth required in acting. Another significant pairing was with John Gilbert, a romantic hero of the silent film era. At the time, Gilbert's career was at its zenith, and being cast alongside him provided Crawford with a platform to showcase her own abilities while appealing to a well-established fan base. Gilbert's keen understanding of screen charisma undoubtedly influenced her, as Crawford was known to study her co-stars meticulously, integrating their strengths into her own evolving style. Similarly, working with actor Charles Ray offered her opportunities to understand the industry from multiple angles, enhancing her versatility and adaptability. Entering Hollywood, Crawford's meteoric rise wasn't solely due to her collaborations. It was her work ethic that set her apart. Observers noted her tireless effort to refine every aspect of her performances, whether it be adjusting to new filming methods or delving deep into complex character portrayals. Her willingness to learn and adapt spoke volumes, enabling her to transition seamlessly from smaller supporting roles to leading lady status. She captivated audiences with her ability to infuse vitality and authenticity into her characters, making them relatable yet captivating. During this transitional period, Joan Crawford demonstrated an intuitive understanding of Hollywood's demands. Each decision and collaboration seemed calculated to maximize her growth and strengthen her industry standing. By immersing herself among highly respected actors and filmmakers, she effectively broadened her appeal and solidified her credibility. The momentum she gained through these formative experiences ensured that when she began leading major productions, her films enjoyed both critical and commercial success. When Joan Crawford married Douglas Fairbanks Jr., it marked a pivotal moment in her career, allowing her entry into Hollywood's elite circles. Her long-cherished invitation to Pickfair, the iconic estate owned by Douglas Fairbanks Sr. and Mary Pickford, symbolized her acceptance among the industry's upper echelons. This newfound status presented its own set of challenges, as Joan had to navigate the pressures of maintaining her image and adhering to the rigid social norms of that era. Her ability to thrive in this demanding environment highlighted her resilience and determination to succeed. By the time Joan Crawford became a prominent figure in Hollywood, Her determination had already become legendary. When she learned of an opportunity to portray a character she believed was made for her, she plotted a daring approach to secure the role. She dressed and embodied the character's persona in full, took herself directly to Louis B. Mayer's office, and presented herself as no one other than the character. This bold move caught Mayer's attention immediately. Her ingenuity and self-confidence not only left a strong impression, but essentially persuaded the influential studio chief that there could be no one better than Crawford for the part. This was far from an isolated event in her career. Crawford had an unyielding tenacity when it came to proving her suitability and commitment for roles she aimed to perform. In an industry where image and evidence of versatility were paramount, she continuously worked on crafting her path. For Crawford, ambition was an action verb. The success she attained was often a significant reflection of the risks she willingly embraced. Mayer, who had a considerable say in approving or denying projects for all his stars, was no stranger to Crawford's methods or motivations. But what made her stand out unforgettable wasn't merely gaining Mayer's respect. It was her robust ability to pitch and visualize characters that blended on page but electrified once brought to life. While this streak of initiative showcased how far Crawford could strategize ahead, merely to take on competitive breakthroughs for acting. Although Joan Crawford did not share scenes with the legendary Greta Garbo in Grand Hotel, her performance demonstrated her ability to hold her ground alongside some of the most celebrated actors of that era, including John Barrymore and Lionel Barrymore. Portraying Flamshin, a young and ambitious stenographer, Crawford infused life into a character drawn directly from the aspirations and struggles of everyday people during the Great Depression. Her role offered a rare combination of charm and depth, resonating strongly with audiences and showcasing her capability to move viewers emotionally. Against the backdrop of a luxurious Berlin hotel, where individual dramas intertwine, Crawford's performance stood out as an emblem of modernity and resilience. Flamshin's flirtatious demeanor, combined with her vulnerability, created a nuanced character that underscored Crawford's range. MGM originally paired her with Wallace Beery in the film, which could have overshadowed her, but the actress managed to shine, bringing a youthful energy that critics and fans alike acknowledged as exceptional. The success of Grand Hotel reinforced Crawford's versatility, marking a significant turning point in her career and aligning her with the highest caliber actors in Hollywood. Irving Thalberg, the film's producer, was deliberate in keeping Crawford's moments distinct from Garbo's, recognizing the stark difference in their acting styles. While Garbo epitomized mystery and grandeur, Crawford captured a contemporary appeal that connected directly with the audience's realities. Her on-screen presence in Grand Hotel told audiences that she was not merely a glamorous figure, but a talented actress capable of delivering layered performances. This role solidified her as one of MGM's most bankable stars. The studio saw in her not just a striking beauty, but a performer capable of elevating any project she undertook. Earning respect as a standout performer in an ensemble cast was no small feat, but Crawford's work in Grand Hotel managed to do exactly that. Her portrayal of Flamshin remains a testament to her artistry, serving as a defining moment in a career that later spanned decades. Joan Crawford's performance as Sadie Thompson in the 1932 film Rain was a bold and transformative milestone in her career. Stepping into a role previously immortalized by acting greats like Gloria Swanson, Crawford brought her distinctive intensity and raw emotion, redefining the character in ways that set her apart. The movie, directed by Louis Milestone and adapted from a W. Somerset Maugham short story, is set on the rain-swept South Pacific island of Pago Pago, enveloping the character's struggles in a moody, relentless atmosphere to heighten the drama. As Sadie Thompson, Crawford portrayed a woman of questionable morality, a prostitute seeking refuge while caught in social and personal turmoil. Whether facing the moral judgment of Walter Houston's character, a missionary intent on reforming her, or grappling with her own inner demons, Crawford infused Sadie with a complex humanity rarely seen in on-screen characters of the period. Her performance navigated an array of nuanced emotions, from defiance and strength to vulnerability and longing, capturing the multifaceted nature of the role with remarkable authenticity. Though the film was met with mixed reviews at the time and struggled at the box office, Crawford's dedication to portraying a layered and provocative character was widely praised by critics. Her decision to take on such a demanding and controversial role demonstrated her willingness to push the boundaries of her craft. While some audiences and commentators drew comparisons to earlier portrayals of Sadie, Particularly the iconic work of Swanson, Crawford's interpretation stood apart for its sincerity and its refusal to rely on exaggeration or melodrama. Instead, she grounded her performance in realism, which resonated with those who recognized the emotional depth she brought to the role. The relationship between Crawford's Sadie and Houston's Reverend Davidson forms the crux of the film's tension. His unrelenting desire to save Sadie from her lifestyle leads to a dramatic and ultimately tragic trajectory, further uplifting Crawford's performance as a standout moment in the cinematic landscape of pre-code Hollywood. Critics have noted how Crawford balanced Sadie's fiery resilience with haunting glimpses of regret and fragility, offering a character study that was both complex and compelling. Despite facing significant challenges, such as public prejudices of the early 1930s and working outside her usual MGM projects, Joan Crawford's determination to handle such a daring story solidified her credibility as an actress capable of tackling any challenge. Her role in Rain may not have been a commercial triumph at the time, but it elevated Crawford's standing as a serious and versatile performer unafraid to take risks. Often revisited by film historians, Rain occupies a unique place in Joan Crawford's legacy and serves as a testament to her talent for bringing profound emotional depth and authenticity to her roles. Joan Crawford's collaboration with Clark Gable became one of the great cinematic pairings of the golden age of Hollywood, leaving an indelible mark in film history due to their remarkable on-screen chemistry. Spanning nearly a decade, their partnership began with Dance Fools Dance in 1931 and included a total of 8 films that captivated audiences with their impeccable dynamic. Crawford, already an established star at MGM, recognized Gable's burgeoning talent early on and selected him as her co-star for their first film. From this initial partnership, the two became staples of the MGM studio, creating a series of successes that consistently resonated with viewers. Their films combined Gable's rugged charisma with Crawford's dynamic presence, a combination that often portrayed powerful yet deeply human relationships. Crawford brought a fiery independence and emotional depth to her portrayals, while Gable brought an innate masculinity and vulnerability, resulting in an unmissable screen presence. Films like Possessed and Dancing Lady remain illustrative examples of their collaborative magic. In Possessed, Crawford's portrayal of a factory girl seeking social mobility paired with Gable's powerful depiction of a wealthy lawyer created a poignant narrative of ambition and conflict. Dancing Lady, their 1933 musical comedy, again highlighted their contrasting yet complementary energies, cementing their reputation as one of Hollywood's leading duos. The authenticity of their performances was further enhanced by their mutual admiration and affection off-screen. While maintaining their professional personas, there were persistent rumors of a passionate affair between the two, rumored to have started during the shooting of their early films. This real-life connection, though never officially confirmed by the stars themselves during their peak years, added a layer of reality to their romantic portrayals and further engaged audiences. Their on-screen relationships explored themes of desire, loyalty, and resilience, often mirroring the complexities of their personal interactions. Their legendary collaborations were not without their challenges. Crawford's rising stardom and strong sense of artistic control sometimes clashed with Gable's laid-back and self-contained approach to acting. However, these differences did not hinder them, but rather enriched the array of emotions displayed in their films. MGM capitalized on their partnership, partnering them for projects that required a believable and electrifying couple. Films like Forsaking All Others and Love on the Run elevated romantic comedies to new heights by presenting their leads as equals, both stubborn, intelligent, and destined to challenge each other. Beyond their films, Crawford and Gable represented a transition in Hollywood's portrayal of male and female partnerships. While Gable was frequently defined as the prototypical American leading man, it was Crawford's relentless drive for reinvention and unapologetic vulnerability that brought complexity to many of their stories. Their collaboration not only enriched Crawford's already significant career, but also showcased her ability to balance feminine grace with a commanding strength that dominated the screen even alongside Gable's towering presence. The culmination of their careers together at MGM solidified them as icons of their era. Crawford spoke fondly of Gable years later, describing their partnership as one where acting was elevated by genuine connection and mutual respect. The legacy of Crawford and Gable continues to draw admiration, underscoring the timeless allure of their films and the enduring power of their cinematic relationship that enchanted audiences across the world. Joan Crawford's personal life was marked by a deep longing for love and companionship, intertwined with her relentless ambition and illustrious career. Her marriages to Joan and Philip Terry stand as significant chapters in her tumultuous quest for stability and personal fulfillment. Joan, an actor of notable charm and talent, became her second husband in 1935. Their union was one of passion and complications, with Joan standing as both her partner and a victim of the pressures exerted by her towering fame and relentless pursuit of her professional goals. Their 4 tumultuous years together were marked by conflict and periods of separation until their eventual divorce in 1939. Years later, in 1942, Joan married Philip Terry. At the outset, their relationship promised the stability she yearned for, occurring during her transition to a broader dimension of roles and acclaim in her acting career. During her time with Terry, they adopted a child together, further reflecting her desire for a complete family life. However, as with her previous unions, the demands of her career and personality created an unsustainable situation. By 1946, their marriage ended in divorce, leaving Joan once again grappling with personal loss amidst public scrutiny. These marriages exemplified her struggle to find an equilibrium between her personal and professional identities. Though each relationship highlighted her willingness to embrace the vulnerability of love, they also underscored the inherent difficulties in balancing the demands of being a powerful and autonomous woman in a male-dominated world. After years of being one of Hollywood's most recognizable stars, Joan Crawford faced a turning point in her career during the early 1940s. By the time she transitioned to Warner Brothers, her career had faltered after several less than successful projects at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, where she had been a defining presence during her earlier years. This lull made many critics wonder whether her time as a major star had come to an end. However, Crawford's determination was unwavering, and it came to fruition in the 1945 melodrama Mildred Pierce, which redefined her career and solidified her legacy. In Mildred Pierce, Crawford portrayed the titular role of a divorced mother who sacrifices her own happiness to give her daughter a better life. This complex and deeply emotional character was unlike many of her earlier roles, which often focused on her glamorous or independent personas. Here, she delved into the intense vulnerabilities and strengths of a woman determined to rise from societal constraints and personal trials. Based on the novel by James M. Cain and directed by Michael Curtiz, Mildred Pierce was both a critical and commercial triumph, marking an essential pivot in career revitalization. Winning the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance cemented Crawford's transformation into a commanding figure whose abilities had matured and evolved. The role of Mildred stretched her acting talents as she balanced an image of dignity alongside an earnest depiction of personal struggles. Behind the scenes, Joan fought unapologetically for the opportunity, reportedly enduring a screen test to convince the hesitant Curtiz that she could embody the character. Her persistence paid off, and the result was not just a resurrection of her career, but also a testament to her resilience as an artist in a competitive industry. Story-wise, the film's structure, which incorporated elements of film noir along with its dramatic narrative, provided a sophisticated canvas for Crawford's performance. Her interpretation of Mildred intersected perfectly with the themes of ambition, sacrifice, and maternal devotion, universal ideas that resonated with post-war audiences navigating similar struggles. Crawford depicted a woman of grit, fighting for stability and success against mounting personal losses, including betrayal by those she held dearest. Mildred Pierce was not initially seen as a guaranteed winner. The role had been passed on by other notable actresses, including Bette Davis. Yet Joan seized the opportunity, and her efforts translated into one of the most enduring performances of her career. The success of the film not only reinvigorated her reputation, but also carved out a new phase of her stardom, where she became synonymous with complex, layered characters. The public and critics alike were captivated by her ability to merge vulnerability with the steely determination that drove the character's arc. Additionally, the film marked Crawford's reemergence as a powerhouse within Hollywood, when many ageist industry norms might have cast aside an actress over the age of 40. Mildred Pierce elevated her status from a fading star to a timeless icon. Winning the Oscar became a crowning achievement, highlighting her years of dedication and adaptability. It proved that her dramatic skills far surpassed her early reputation as a glamorous screen idol, and that her talents could deeply move audiences and critics alike. Compellingly, much of the movie's acclaim revolved around Crawford herself. while the supporting cast, including Anne Blythe and Jack Carson, added nuanced layers to the film. It was Crawford's portrayal that became its defining element. The arc of Mildred, from her unwavering resolve to make a better life for her family to her heartbreak over her daughter's coldness, remains among the finest examples of acting during the era. Her performance continues to be studied as a landmark in Hollywood storytelling, connecting motherhood with ambition and tragedy. The legacy of Mildred Pierce cemented Joan Crawford as an artist who could reinvent herself, adapting skillfully to changing tastes and expectations within the film industry. The award-winning portrayal not only redefined her career at a precarious time, but also served as a reminder of her ability to draw audiences into the heart of her characters. Through the adoption of 4 children, Joan Crawford defied the social conventions of her era, emerging as a trailblazer for single motherhood during the mid-20th century. Raising a family and seeking children independently was an arduous task in a world where cultural norms heavily favored marriage as a prerequisite for parenting. Joan's determination to embrace motherhood symbolized both her personal yearning for familial bonds and her deep belief in nurturing others. Her persistent efforts to adopt, overcoming legal and societal barriers, reflected her unwavering resolve, a quality she frequently exhibited in her professional acting career as well. Joan Crawford approached parenting with a rigorous and disciplined methodology, as she believed in the importance of cultivating independence and resilience in her children. Reflecting her own experiences of perseverance and hard work, Joan prioritized their ability to face challenges and navigate life's complexities. Her parenting style, characterized by strict discipline and a sometimes rigid structure, garnered widespread criticism over the years. However, Joan's intentions were rooted in a profound desire to see her children succeed and thrive in a world often unkind to those perceived as weak or unprepared. While Joan's methods were contentious and sparked debates about her suitability as a role model for single mothers, her resolve to carve out a family for herself paved the way for discussions about the inclusivity of adoption laws and the breaking down of traditional family stereotypes. Her decision to adopt independently challenged prevailing biases that undervalued the role of single women as capable parents. She dared to redefine conventional understandings of motherhood at a time when women faced significant restrictions in exercising agency over their personal lives. By doing so, she became an emblematic figure in both battling societal stigmas and pioneering alternative family structures. Her life was not without its controversies. The strained relationship between Joan and her eldest daughter, Christina, has been well documented, particularly through the publication of the memoir Mommy Dearest. The book alleged instances of abuse and cast a shadow on Joan's legacy, yet it also underscored the complexities of a life spent navigating immense public scrutiny, personal insecurities, and the challenges of single parenthood. Joan Crawford's relationship with her children remains one of the most talked about aspects of her life and legacy, described by many as complex and fraught with tension, particularly with her eldest adopted children, Christina and Christopher. Her parenting approach seemed shaped by the dual forces of her own harsh upbringing and the unrelenting pressures of her own harsh upbringing. Hollywood. Her strict rules and disciplinarian nature were often justified by her as necessary measures to prepare her children for the challenges of life. However, these measures often crossed into severe discipline, leaving lasting marks on her children's lives. Christina Crawford's 1978 memoir Mommy Dearest painted a dark and unforgettable portrait of Joan as a mother who wielded control with an iron hand. Christina alleged emotional and physical abuse, detailing incidents that have since become infamous, including episodes of harsh punishments and erratic behavior. This memoir sparked widespread scrutiny of Joan's parenting style, casting a shadow over her public persona as a glamorous Hollywood icon. Christopher echoed many of Christina's claims, describing a childhood marred by verbal tirades and humiliating punishments. He allegedly faced physical restraints as a form of discipline. In stark contrast, Joan's 2 younger adopted children, Kathy and Cindy, reportedly experienced a different upbringing. They have spoken positively about their mother, suggesting that Joan's parenting style softened over time. This dichotomy further complicates the story of her family life. Joan's rigorous expectations and quest for perfection reflect her own struggle to rise from poverty to stardom. She believed discipline was a necessary tool in a world that could be unforgiving. Nonetheless, for Christina and Christopher, love and discipline appeared indistinguishable from control and punishment. Adding another layer of complexity, Joan's adoption process itself has been scrutinized. Allegations that she obtained her children through questionable means only add to the mystique surrounding her relationships. Even after her death in 1977, the tension persisted when Joan disinherited Christina and Christopher in her will, citing reasons which they knew. This decision reinforced the public narrative of unresolved strife and underscored the fractured family dynamic. In a career spanning several decades, Joan Crawford exemplified the ability to adapt and thrive in an ever-changing film industry. Starting in the 1920s, she gained recognition during the silent film era, capturing audiences as a glamorous flapper. As the flapper craze waned and the industry moved into the Great Depression, Crawford transitioned into more dramatic roles that spoke to audiences grappling with hardship. Films like Possessed and Letty Linton reflected her ability to portray resilient working-class women, providing a connection to the public and breathing new life into her career during a tumultuous period. The 1940s proved yet another turning point. Now in an era dominated by fresh young starlets, Crawford refused to fade into obscurity. She reinvented herself as a dramatic character actress, deliberately selecting roles that let her showcase emotional depth and maturity. A notable success of this period was her Oscar-winning role in Mildred Pierce, a portrayal that reiterated her versatility and confirmed her status as a serious actress. This reinvention appealed to both critics and audiences, establishing her as a formidable leading lady. By the 1950s, as her original studio ties loosened, Crawford explored new territory. She expanded her repertoire, taking on diverse and more unconventional characters. Then, in the 1960s, as Hollywood evolved yet again, Crawford ventured into the genre of horror films. Her appearance in projects like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane not only extended her career, but also demonstrated her willingness to experiment, tackle challenging scripts, and embrace unique roles. Each decade highlighted Crawford's resourcefulness and drive to mold her image in response to industry trends and audience expectations, ensuring her longevity in Hollywood. Her adaptability stemmed from a deep understanding of the entertainment landscape. Whether through subtle changes in performance style, shifts in her personal star image, or by selecting roles that spoke to the spirit of the times, Crawford survived when many others faded away. She maintained relevance by embodying the qualities and struggles of women across different eras, forging a career defined by resilience and transformation. Joan Crawford possessed a work ethic that was nothing short of legendary in Hollywood. Her unwavering dedication to her craft set her apart, establishing a standard that few could match. She understood the immense significance of maintaining her public image and worked relentlessly to ensure that her appearance was always impeccable, whether on the red carpet, on film sets, or during public engagements. Every aspect of her professional demeanor was polished to perfection, reflecting her understanding that her fans and audiences deserved nothing less than her absolute best. On the silver screen, Joan poured every ounce of her energy into her roles, making her performances unforgettable. She took her characters seriously, immersing herself in their stories, and delivering portrayals that resonated deeply with audiences. Even off-screen, her attention to detail and commitment were evident. Joan was known to be meticulous in her preparation, often revisiting and refining her approach to ensure she was delivering peak performances. She saw her career not just as a means of personal success, but as an obligation to inspire and entertain those who looked up to her. This perspective led her to embrace even the harshest schedules, long hours of filming, and personal sacrifices. Her rise from humble beginnings only fueled her tenacity. Joan's determination was apparent in all facets of her career, whether it was repositioning herself in Hollywood with changing cinematic trends, or fighting for roles that showcased her acting range and depth. Her groundbreaking performance in Mildred Pierce serves as a testament to this, where she depicted a strong, relentless woman, seemingly mirroring her own life's values. This role not only won her an Academy Award, but also reaffirmed her stature as one of the most formidable talents of her era. Joan's commitment extended beyond the silver screen. She meticulously managed her personal brand with the same fervor she brought to her films. Her poise and grace in public engagements were reflections of hours of preparation and a deep understanding of audience perception. She would frequently remind herself, as well as others in the industry, about the responsibility entertainers bore in preserving the enchantment of Hollywood's golden age. This constant push for excellence made her a revered figure, not just among her peers but also among the fans who adored her across generations. Though she faced adversities, her work ethic remained indomitable. rather than being deterred by challenges in her personal and professional life. Joan treated them as stepping stones, always searching for ways to enhance her artistry. Each project she undertook became a new opportunity to demonstrate her integrity and transformative abilities. For Joan, being an actress was more than a job. It was a testament to her resilience and passion, ensuring her place in Hollywood's history as an enduring icon who symbolized commitment and professionalism. In her later years, Joan Crawford withdrew from the public eye, retreating to her New York apartment as her health declined. She faced loneliness and isolation, yet she remained proud of her accomplishments. Joan's decision to step away from the limelight reflected her understanding of the ephemeral nature of fame and her desire to preserve her legacy. She passed away alone, leaving behind a complex and enduring impact on Hollywood. Her retreat into seclusion marked a significant contrast to her earlier years of stardom. Even as she faced the challenges of aging and illness, Joan's pride in her career remained unwavering. Her legacy, shaped by both her achievements and her personal struggles, continues to influence and inspire. Joan Crawford's final years serve as a poignant reminder of the transient nature of fame and the enduring power of a lasting legacy. Her story, marked by resilience and a profound understanding of her place in Hollywood history, remains a testament to her strength and determination. Through unrelenting perseverance and sheer willpower, Joan Crawford transformed herself from a destitute, self-reliant child into a symbol of glamour and determination in Hollywood. Her early struggles gave depth to her on-screen personas and fortified her ability to navigate the cutthroat entertainment industry. She began her career as a dancer in traveling theatrical companies, eventually transitioning into silent films and later talkies. Discontent with small, unremarkable roles, she skillfully utilized publicity to forge a star-making image, one of sophistication and independence that resonated deeply with Depression-era audiences. Steadily building her career, Crawford became one of MGM's reigning stars during the 1930s. However, her career faced turbulence in the late 1930s when she was labeled box office poison, signaling a decline in her audience appeal. Undaunted, she left MGM for Warner Brothers, where she reclaimed her stature with an Academy Award-winning performance in Mildred Pierce in 1945. Her portrayal of a determined, self-sacrificing mother mirrored her own relentless quest for success. Crawford was known for her intensity and exacting standards, traits that extended to her relationships both professionally and personally. As the decades passed, her roles transitioned from celebrated dramas to less prestigious B-movies, culminating in horror films like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Despite the changes in her career trajectory, she maintained her unwavering commitment to her craft. Her life, particularly her strained familial relationships, was later scrutinized through the controversial memoir Mommy Dearest, written by her adopted daughter, a depiction that complicated her legacy. Even so, Joan Crawford remains an enduring icon of old Hollywood, celebrated for her indefatigable spirit and ability to reinvent herself time